As Australians, we take pride in our safety record in the air. Every possible precaution is taken to ensure passenger safety and avoid crashes. If a crash occurs on our rail system, we immediately take action to reduce the likelihood of further incidents. Even in our workplace, we no longer tolerate injuries as commonplace. Why should it be then that we accept such a tragically high rate of fatalities and injuries on our roads? Arguably, Australia's biggest workplace for millions of Australians every day. Every day, 5 people die and 60 people are seriously injured on our roads. That's around 1,600 deaths and 22,000 seriously injured on Australian roads each year.
So much of my work involves victims of serious road crashes. The injuries are often catastrophic, including paraplegia, quadriplegia, limb amputation and permanent brain damage. We can help to put people back together, but we cannot fix lives that are permanently shattered by the tragedy of major road trauma.
Australia's National Road Safety Strategy was established with the specific aim of reducing the annual road fatality rate by 40% between 1999 and 2010. Reaching this target would mean saving 700 lives a year. The strategy has identified that some 332 lives, nearly half of the targeted improvement, can be saved each year by improving our roads.
Every day, 5 people are killed on Australian roads. Doctors treat a further 60 with serious injuries each day. Many of these injuries are life-threatening. There's no such thing as an accident. You can plan to avoid it happening. It's no longer acceptable to have roads that are inherently dangerous. The roads are really more important in road safety than most people realise. We can avoid crashes by redesigning roads to make them safer.
The Australian Road Assessment Program, or OSRAP, is an initiative of the Australian Automobile Association and its state motoring clubs. It identifies high-risk roads and improvements that can be made to these roads to reduce the likelihood of crashes and to make those that do happen survivable. It is a sister program to the Australian New Car Assessment Program, or ANCAP, which crash tests new cars, rates their performance and awards them a star rating for safety.
Nearly all new vehicles are awarded a star rating under this system. OSRAP provides governments and road users with a similar system for rating the relative safety of our roads. What we need to aim for is 5-star drivers in 5-star cars on 5-star roads.
But a 5-star car will not always protect a driver on a 1-star road. 9 out of 10 crashes occur because of human error. But why is it that more crashes occur on some roads than others? Often it is the features of the road itself that either contributes to the crash or turns what could have been a minor crash into a killer.
NCAP is continuing to encourage the introduction of safety features in new cars. We are continuing to improve driver education and training. We are now turning our attention to improving the safety of our roads. This is an area where research shows we can achieve the biggest gains.
Australia's roadside verges are littered with bunches of wilting flowers. They are reminders of lives cut short due to a lack of simple, affordable safety measures such as wire rope fencing. Even a basic improvement such as sealing of road edges can potentially reduce up to 60% of run-off road crashes, as well as head-on crashes. We need to build protection into our roads to reduce the likelihood of a crash and to minimise the consequences when one does happen. We need to make our roads more forgiving. The most common way to separate lanes of traffic is still nothing more than a splash of paint. That isn't going to prevent a collision. 90 to 100% of head-on collisions could be prevented by separating traffic flows through simple tools such as safety barriers.
OSRAP performs two principal tasks. Firstly, it produces risk maps of our highways. OSRAP risk maps use real crash and traffic flow statistics to measure road risk by showing the rate at which people are killed and injured. High-risk roads are shown in black and red. Medium-risk roads are shown in yellow. Low-risk roads are green.
OSRAP risk mapping can help road authorities, planners and engineers target areas for improvement. It will also help road users understand how risk can vary depending on the road environment. Risk-aware road users will be more likely to adapt their driving to reduce their risk.
Secondly, in addition to risk mapping, OSRAP also measures risk using a star rating. These star ratings are calculated by assessing how well the road prevents a crash and protects its users. Specially equipped inspection vehicles like this one are surveying our national road network to collect data for OSRAP. These vehicles use a combination of infrared, GPS and video technology to capture detailed information about the road surface, verges and roadside objects. Data is captured in real time by an onboard computer system. When processed and analysed, this data is then used to calculate a star rating through a road protection score. Most one-star roads are winding, single carriageway roads with broken edges and have unforgiving roadside hazards.
There are many ways to improve the safety of a road. A typical 4 or 5 star road would be dual carriageway with barriers separating traffic flow. It may also have a number of other safety features, such as wide sealed edges or shoulders, rumble strips, shear bolts on light poles, and protection from roadside trees and culverts using wire rope fencing or guardrail barriers.
The key aim of OSRAP is to reduce deaths and injuries by identifying the roads where crashes are more likely to occur. OSRAP is about helping to save hundreds of lives at a price that we can all afford.
The idea is to get things to fit together: the driver, the car and the road. Low-cost improvements to our high-risk roads, combined with safer cars and risk-aware drivers, will greatly reduce the number of people killed and maimed on our roads. Drivers should not have to pay with their lives for a momentary lapse in concentration.
OSRAP is going to take us on a journey where routine, predictable death is no more acceptable on the road than it is today on an aircraft, or on a train, or in the workplace. It's going to show us where low-cost crash protection measures could be put in place in order to save lives.
The Australian Government is pleased to support the AAA in the research and development of the Australian Road Assessment Program OSRAP. We need safer drivers in safer vehicles on safer roads, and this is a program that will make a significant contribution to saving lives and reducing injuries on our roads.